Hi guys, welcome to Jay Today. Please subscribe if you're not already. So everyone keeps asking John to post the live from the other night, the Instagram one and the YouTube one, and I noticed today that the YouTube one went up. So he's probably telling everyone, I put it up, the live's there, but he actually didn't. He only posted, well, less than half of it. The rest was completely gone. He only posted the bit where he's being nice. He's telling all the hags that he's apologizing, saying he's not doing drama anymore. He's not getting involved in all the YouTube fights. Um, and then pretty much the part where he cuts off is where I go on and I completely mess that up within 10 seconds after apologizing to everyone for an hour. Um, he really should post the rest of it, but we know he's not going to because we all saw Pipey in it. And other people saw other stuff too, allegedly. So we all know that that second half is not going to go up. If you notice at the end of it, it just kind of cuts off abruptly. He doesn't say bye or anything like that. He's talking to that other boring girl who talks like a social worker as well, a bit like Heidi. They all seem to kiss his ass for no apparent reason while he's obviously sat there out of his face, allegedly. But the second half of that live was the best part. That was when Cody came out of the room. You could see lots of stuff going on. Cody went absolutely berserk because apparently he knows everything about horses. And when someone falls off a horse, you're supposed to ring the police and send out a manhunt for the person, even when you can see them walking back along the gallops, Cody. Um, yeah, and then I can't remember what the rest he was shouting because I just put it on in the background while I carried on working, but he was pretty much going crazy in it. And then there was a knock at the door, which we all thought could have been, the old police again, because they seem to turn up every live. But I'm kind of now thinking it might not have been them because every time they come, they like to film it, don't they? They like to show, oh, look who's here again, look what's happening. Stop sending the police, by the way, people. That's just slightly nuts. But they always like to film it when the police do get there. So now I'm starting to think maybe it wasn't the police. So these two had kind of been on like a 3-day bender or whatever it was since they found out that the court case had been, what do you call it, dropped from jurisdiction, even though it's might be refiled again. I'll do a video on that soon, hopefully. So I don't know why they were being all bragging and smug about that. Maybe you should have just shut up, John, and they might not have bothered refiling. But you couldn't, could you? You got to go on this big, having this party and, thinking you were great, that you sorted out the world's problems. Anyway, back to the police. Someone knocked on the door. Oh, yeah, he doxed me, by the way. He doxed the first line of my address. And Cody did actually stop him, but he'd already said it. So the knock on the door, I'm kind of thinking it's not the police because they like to film the police. And Cody kind of shut it down really, really quickly. So because John started talking to someone, so I'm thinking this 3-day bender, and they weren't done yet. They probably had a bit more YouTube's money left. So had they ordered more supplies? Was this the old dealer coming to the door to bring them a little bit more of, what they'd obviously been on for the past few days, allegedly, that people saw, and then the old other stuff that people allegedly saw. So that's what I'm kind of guessing. And they've not addressed it because they went kind of quiet then for 48 hours. And they didn't even come back on and say, oh, yeah, the police were called to the house. They just never mentioned that half of the live again. And they never mentioned the police coming to the door that night. So obviously it wasn't the police, but it was someone. I mean, the knock was very loud. It sounded like a policeman knocking. So unless it's somebody that's after him, maybe they owe money for these things. So there might be an old crying live coming up for all the hags. Gather your money. He's going to be on crying again. Which we all enjoy it. We all enjoy watching a good John cry. Watch him have a nice rant. I like to go on. I like to argue. I enjoy myself doing it. He gets very wound up. He can't take a joke. He takes everything completely serious that I say. He likes to take it to the next level and dox me, talk about my parenting. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. Well, the doxing kind of did a little bit, but the talking about my parenting, because I know it's not true. So what the F ever. So anyway, now that live's up and it's just the boring part of him saying he won't be doing any drama anymore. I can guarantee by next weekend, if he's on a live and I click into it, I can guarantee I can go into it and mess it up for him. And I'm just going to see if he falls for it once more, because everyone will be saying to him, don't bring her up, don't bring her up. And he'll say, oh, no, no, just, I want to have a proper conversation with her. Just looking at me annoys him. Just if he hears me breathing, it annoys him. So he wouldn't be able to do it. John, just ignore me. But I know you're not going to, and I know I'm going to mess it up for you again before the weekend. Because the other stuff they do is boring. I don't know what that hag's movie night is, but that sounds boring as crap. Coochie cream as well. I wanted to ask her a favour because I feel like she owes me a favour for no other reason that I feel like she owes me one. But you know how we only have like the one picture where we've ever seen coochie cream? And it's not a very good picture, coochie. It's not. You know when you put your camera on and it's facing at you and you're like, oh, flip, flip. You've got like 10 chins. That's the kind of picture that everyone only has of coochie. So like, feel like we should give her another chance to do a nicer picture. Maybe, a bit of soft lighting cooch, maybe throw on a silk robe or a nice blouse, something like that. And I'm just throwing things out there. You can decide what you want to do for it, or you can tell me to F off, which you probably will. But I'm just thinking, because that picture was such a bad picture, there should be another one. There should be a nicer one. So everyone has a different vision of you, because every time I see a biker now, all I think of is that picture of you. Like my friend has a motorbike and he said to me, do you want to have a ride on it? And all I could picture was you sat on it in coochie cream all over the seat. And I didn't want to sit on the motorbike because I have visions of myself getting really bad thrush. And I mean, it's probably not fair to you. Maybe you don't have thrush. I don't know. But that picture was a bad picture. You just look like a hairy male biker with your hair tied back. Them with the leather vests and that kind of thing. So maybe you want to throw out a picture to someone, send it in my DMs anonymously that I could put up and say, isn't this a lovely picture of coochie cream? I'm hoping you could take a good picture. I'm assuming you could. Nice bit of, lighting. Get into the mood, maybe a couple of glasses of boxed wine. Ask John. He always has a lot of boxed wine going. Maybe not the pipe. Let's not ask for pipey because that might make you look a bit bug-eyed. Yeah, definitely a couple of glasses of wine to relax. And then we'll have a nicer image of you in our heads, because the one we all have at the moment isn't good. So just there to throw that out there. Anyway, now John, back to his boring stuff. And we know that's definitely not going to last. Especially now since we've spent all the money over the past few days on the bender they've just been on. So there's definitely going to be some kind of crisis by, I would say, now he sometimes surprises me. I'd say Saturday, and you get surprised. You go on a Wednesday or Thursday, and there it is. So you never kind of know. It's kind of, you have to kind of check in and have a look. Like at the start, you can kind of tell at the beginning whether it's going to be a breakdown video or, an exciting one, or whether it's just clickbait and he's just going to be sat there talking about all the celebrities he knows and, all the work he's done and, about his world tour that he went on to, it was like 2 people's houses. Yeah. I had to laugh at another video that he did with Monica. I can't remember if he was on hers or she was on his. And she was saying how hard they'd both worked and how easy it was for all these people coming along to get into the elite club of bloggers that they're in. So, okay, you're talking about John being an elite blogger. Have you ever watched his channel, Monica? I mean, okay, yours you got a good few views on, but have you ever actually watched him? He only gets views when he's crying or fighting with someone like myself. Elite blogging, it is not world tours, it is not being a celebrity. You are not. But yeah, anyway, we'll see if he puts up the other half. I'm very much doubting that he will, because we know he won't. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.